Well, it's been almost a year since I shared my diagnosis of my left knee having osteoarthritis with you. And because you're curious about the connection between weight loss surgery and arthritis, I thought I could give you an update. If topics like weight loss surgery are what you are searching on YouTube, I hope you'll consider subscribing to this channel. Here at Berry Tail Coaching, we are all about sharing the honest truth about life after weight loss surgery. We're here to be supportive, provide guidance, and share real lived stories about this bariatric life. And I also cover things like Disney World, mamahood, holidays, travel, and magic. So hopefully you'll stick around. We'd love to have you. A quick backstory in case you are seeing this video before the other video, which I will make sure is linked above. In February of 2023, I re-injured my left knee on a cold morning run. I don't think I stretched properly. Whatever the factors, I re-injured it. When I was 18, I had already had a laparoscopic meniscus repair in this knee. And then after high school, the combination of gaining weight very quickly and the surgery that left space in between where things were before caused a lot of knee pain. And I thought at the time that it was because I'm fat pain, so I ignored it. Enter last February. My knee swelled to the size of a grapefruit on a flight that Mark and I were taking from Boston to Nashville. I thought and blamed it on like the cabin pressure. And then while we were walking around Nashville, I wasn't going to let it stop our trip. I knew that I needed to see the same surgeon, my orthopedic surgeon, when I came home. So I booked an appointment with him. I did a scan, which led to me having an MRI, which confirmed not only a re-torn meniscus in this left knee, but also, and I quote, too much arthritis for someone my age. At that time, and even when I was filming that video, even though it was months later, I was so disappointed. I don't know if it comes across on camera. I worked really hard not to show that emotion, but I felt like this was truly the first real failure of weight loss surgery. And all of the feelings I had about my body being an adversary came flooding back after this diagnosis, even though there was almost nothing I could have done to change it. One of the reasons I think I felt that way is because I had weight loss surgery to alleviate the pressure on my joints as one of many reasons. And because I'd lost so much weight, my knees hadn't hurt for years. But this thought process, the one that I teach my clients and my students, both bariatric and otherwise, forced me to ask the question, why? Why was I feeling like this? A knee injury wasn't something that I could fix in that moment. And I think the lack of control played a role in how I was feeling. I was also deeply sad to give up my new identity as a runner. I ran the Falmouth Road Race. I trained for over a year for that. I was really enjoying my quick mile morning runs. So much so that I was doing them in February in the freezing cold and I couldn't run. I haven't run since. And that has been one of the hardest parts. That is absolutely something I never thought would come out of my mouth. But since then, I've pivoted to options that better suit a low impact lifestyle. I'm going to share those with you later in case this is something you're also experiencing. At my first visit back to my local orthopedic surgeon, the one who had done my knee surgery more than 18 years ago, he mentioned a potential replacement, and I won't lie, when I got into my car, I burst into tears. I felt like, and I still feel like, I've worked so hard to avoid this fate. Both my Nana and my mom have had knee replacement surgeries, and it was really something I was hoping that weight loss surgery would mean that I never had to do. Now I am in prevention mode. I know that this surgery is not something that I can avoid forever, but I'm taking all of the conservative measures that I possibly can in order to prolong when I need a replacement. Because I know if I do it now, I'm going to have to do it twice. And I'd really like to avoid that. There is one perk of having a fake knee, and that is I would get to run on it. Because yes, I did ask that question. I know I wouldn't be able to run half marathons or marathons, but that's not my goal. I love running my little mile and like a 5K at most, but I also understand that that is a ton of impact and pressure on your joints. So right now that's not an option for me. Over the summer, I had my first cortisone injection. If you aren't familiar, cortisone shots go directly into the affected area. Typically, it's a joint, and they can help by reducing the swelling and the pain that's associated with the injury. So think about your major joints like ankles, elbows, wrists, knees, shoulders, hips, spine. That's what cortisone is really meant for, is that type of like irritation, swelling, and pain in your major joints. The pro of a cortisone shot is that the relief is almost immediate. Yes, the day of the actual shot hurts. It's uncomfortable, but it's tolerable. And then you can feel like within 24 hours in most cases that cortisone shot is making a difference. The con of a cortisone shot is how many you should or can have within a year. Cortisone can damage your cartilage, so there's a limit to how many shots you can have, and there's a super wide range as to how long the effects of the cortisone shot can last. When I asked that question, I was told that it could last for a minimum of 3 weeks, or it could last for 3 years. It's really dependent patient to patient. My injection was in August of 2023, and it did help. In fact, I got used to the fact that my knee wasn't bothering me. And so when the cortisone started to wear off, I was frustrated that it wasn't working longer. Like I just assumed I got better, even though I knew I had the shot. It took about 4 months, which is on the shorter end of cortisone, for it to start to wear off. And I knew it was working because when it started to wear off, I was very aware. Now, throughout the cortisone months where it's working, I was also doing physical therapy once a week for my knee, specifically to strengthen the muscles around my knee, but also to stretch the muscles in my leg because the knee injury caused all of my muscles to tighten and shrink. And one of the most effective ways to strengthen and stretch those muscles is through a tactic called dry needling. Dry needles are the same size as acupuncture needles, but the difference is that the dry needles go directly into the muscles around whatever affected joint you're working with. And the purpose of dry needling is to get those muscles to spasm so that they can stretch. This is the most painful. While this is happening, this is being done by the physical therapist, and it happens on the front side of my knee and the back side. I'm laying on a table, gripping a pillow, sweating to withhold all of the screaming that I want to do. I have a relatively high pain tolerance, but I will tell you that when I'm on my backside and get off the table, there's like a sweat imprint of my butt, because that's one of my body's reactions to pain, is to sweat while I'm trying to hold in the pain and not let the public see it. I do notice a difference, like if I have physical therapy in the afternoon, when I wake up the next morning, there's more mobility in my knee, but it's short term. It's so short term that I dread going to physical therapy because I know how much it's going to hurt every single time. And no, the pain is not dulled the more I go. Now I'm going twice a month as opposed to 4 times a month because of insurance. But the pain of the dry needling doesn't cease. I also wonder, and I'm not trying to complain, I simply wonder, how long do I have to do this for? How sustainable is it to keep me in physical therapy for twice a month? Until when? Until I get a knee replacement? Years, hopefully years, down the road? Is it forever? Because typically physical therapy is used after an injury for a certain period of time in order to heal that injury, but I can't heal this one. So right now, that's kind of where my frustration is. I've adapted to not running and trying new workout and movement routines. I've adapted to going back to track more of my calories and my protein and my meals because I know that the deficit I was getting because of the cardio of running is not something I'm getting anymore. So I have to be a little bit more careful to avoid weight regain. But I haven't adapted to what is the expectation of this knee? And am I just fighting for the sake of fighting? I don't know. As I film this, I am in the middle of a treatment called Euflexa. This is a 3-time injection. So as I'm filming this right now, I'm actually going to my second injection right after I turn the camera off, and I will take you with me. But it is a once a week for 3 weeks series of injections. And the primary ingredient, I'm not sure if I'm using that terminology correctly, that makes Euflexa effective is hyaluronic acid. So I am just out of my second Euflexa shot. And this one hurt a little bit more. I think it's because when they do the shot, the gel goes in and you can feel how thick it is. And then that gel is laying on top of the Euflexa from last week. So I anticipate next week will probably be a little bit more uncomfortable. But he said before I get up, stretch my knee out back and forth a few times to try to give the Euflexa a home to settle in. And that today there should be no more big activity, and activity as normal or as tolerated can resume as normal tomorrow. So I get to meet with some of my VIP pixies tonight from my pixie dust girlies, which I'm very excited about, but that doesn't require anything. I'll probably go home and throw on comfier pants. I'm in jeans right now. I should have thought that through before I came here because pulling up my jeans was, a scene. But yeah, that's where we are. I was told this time, they gave me more specifics about that after my third injection, it's 6 to 8 weeks after that where I'm supposed to feel the beginnings of significant pain relief. So that might be a video if you're interested, at my maximum pain relief, what does it feel like? Did I think this process was worth it? And would I pay for it again? You let me know. Euflexa is specifically created to help with knee pain from osteoarthritis. Typically, it's used by patients who do not get the type of relief that Tylenol, icing, and resting would provide. So it's a chronic knee pain happening, chronically, right, all the time. And that's why I need more treatment options really to work with the pain management part of things. So the hyaluronic acid in this injection series is created to provide a cushion between your joints and bones, because right now the arthritis has worn away all of my cartilage and tendons and joints, etc. So that way my knee pain is coming from the fact that I'm bone on bone inside my kneecap. Euflexa can also help your body create more natural hyaluronic acid, which I really like. I think that's a huge perk if I'm comparing Euflexa to the cortisone shot. This one offers the opportunity to give my body something to do to help with the pain management. The pros of this treatment are that it is supposed to last much longer than the cortisone. So I was told that unlike the cortisone, and maybe this one's a con, is that the Euflexa requires a buildup over time, that I might not feel the effects right away, but when I do feel them, that they'll last much longer. I was actually put a little bit at ease because of that. I feel like that is good news in this circumstance. Also, the Euflexa will protect my cartilage rather than potentially harm it. So that's a plus. And like the cortisone, it's easy. It's a shot. It's uncomfortable. And my knee did hurt more after my first shot than it did with cortisone. Excuse me, the hiccups. But that was to be expected. I was told that information. It didn't hurt enough that I would need to change my daily routine. They told me not to stand for long periods of time or do any sort of heavy workout or exercising, but I do that in the morning anyway. So by the time my shot comes, even in the afternoon, that part is taken care of. And I've already planned to take tomorrow morning as a rest day and maybe do some light stretching, but nothing that's going to involve like knee impact. The biggest downside to Euflexa, she's expensive. Most insurances do not cover it after I did some research. Mine does not. Certainly doesn't cover it if you are 38 years old. So this is a pay out of pocket treatment, which makes it not always attainable for every person. And as I mentioned, that it takes a while to become effective. My knee was swollen, is still a little bit swollen from that first shot last week. It's felt tight. Again, I was warned about that. It hasn't impacted me. I'm just babying it a little bit more, but I guess I'll know more after today. I expect it to feel the same. So in terms of my movement, I've had to adapt. I have been strength training and resistance training to build the muscles in my legs specifically. I tend to be softer and curvier in my legs. That's a nice way to say it. But I'm working really hard with body weight, with actual like dumbbells and weights, kettlebells and resistance bands to make sure that my legs are as strong as they can be. That's good overall, but it's great for my knee joints. I'm also still stretching and doing yoga. I've incorporated Pilates to try to target more of like my core muscles. But all of that being said, the deficit is still really hard without cardio. I know I can walk, and I do, but it's harder. What I do know is that if I hadn't had bariatric surgery, this would be so much worse. Honestly, I would probably already have a fake knee if I was still 230 plus pounds. I'm 5'3". That's the reality of it. So when I get frustrated about the future that I can't foresee or plan for really, and the lack of impact that I can put on my knee, I come back to knowing that now at least I'm healthy. At least I'm giving my body a fighting chance to do what I need to do before I have to jump into a knee replacement. Something I've been paying more attention to, and this might feel entirely random and strange, but I pay more attention to how I like twist my knee in daily movement, but also in workouts. So I no longer cross my knee from left to right, which is really sad because it's one of my favorite non-scale victories, but I can still go right to left. When I'm working out, I don't twist my legs so that my knee joint would not be facing forward in some type of like 90-degree angle. So I'm more conscientious of that, and I'm also more conscientious of my footwear, which makes me sound 1,000 years old. Also, as I plan to wear heels to the Boston Ballet this weekend, photos will be on Instagram, but when I'm doing a lot of movement or when I'm outside walking, I'm always wearing practical shoes that I think are cute, but also are function, like they are built to function as support for impact. I'm pretty sure I've shown you these before, and they are dusty, crusty because I do actually wear them. These are my trusty tree flyers from Allbirds. They're like kind of made with sweater-like material, and they're stretchy here, but they are literally designed to take impact and be supportive. They're really lightweight too. Some of the supportive sneakers I've tried are heavy, and I don't love that because it's like adding on to the problem. So I really like these. I love the company of Allbirds. They have like a sustainable mission. They're coming out with designs all the time. I will leave the information for Allbirds linked in the description box. If I have a discount code, I will leave that down there too. So I'd love to know your questions about this arthritis journey that I'm going on at age 38. I know that having weight loss surgery, again, has made my knee better, but I also know that because I had weight loss surgery, I wanted to run. And running definitely sped up the process of this injury. What would be worse? the 100 pounds that I lost still on it, or the like 2 years of running that I did on it, probably the weight would be my guess. Either way, I want to know, do you want updates? And I also want to be transparent with you about the fact that if you're going through a painful arthritis journey of your own, that there are steps that you can take. You just have to be a little more creative, perhaps, before you jump to surgery. However, if you want that replacement right away, I am absolutely not here to judge you. You have to do what's best for your body. I am not in a place right now where I am ready to accept a fake knee yet. And hopefully, these new Euflexa injections will allow me to live pain-free on this knee for like at least a year, right? Like at least one more year. So that's where we are. I hope you found this video helpful. I thought I'd provide you with an update because thank you for asking. You're curious and wanted to know. I appreciate all of your comments. I love you. And I have so many fun videos planned coming up because of my birthday is soon. And because I'm an Aries, I'm all about like, put that crown on, sister. Let's celebrate. And I want to bring you with me for the celebrations. I have a fun thing planned for us, okay? I love you. I hope you are having a pain-free, beautiful day. And I will see you soon. Goodbye, my friends. I love ya.